Hey everyone, I just got my hands on the Tuni G1 grinder and E2 Espresso machine. I literally just unboxed them and haven't pulled any shots yet. Whenever I show a new setup, people always ask about my grind settings and machine settings, so I figured this is the perfect chance to walk you through my process before I do a full review of this entry-level espresso combo. After filling up the water tank, I run a few plain shots with just hot water. This helps rinse the portafilter, group head, and internal tubing, and also warms up the brew head. Then I wipe the filter basket dry. The basket usually shows the recommended capacity, and for this one, it's 18 to 19 grams. Next, let's check out the grinder. The G1 has a feature to set cup size, I think it's for filter coffee, and it also has a timer for grinding, which is pretty handy for espresso. For the first use, I recommend weighing out 18 grams of beans and doing a single dose. I'll check the roast level. These beans are pretty dark, so I'm aiming for 1:2 ratio. That's about getting 36 grams in 30 seconds. For lighter roast, I will increase the ratio to 1:2.5 or 1:3. Just remember, the grind setting really depends on the beans. My setting in this video may not fit your beans, so you have to try it yourself. According to the dial, settings 4 to 12 is the range for espresso, so I'm starting in the middle at 7. Since I've already measured my beans, I'll just grind until they're finished. Timing doesn't matter. However, I forget to attach the dosing funnel, so it gets a bit messy. But it's all good. I'm glad they include a funnel in the box. Otherwise, you'd have to buy one separately. Alright, let's prep the puck. I use a WDT tool to stir the grounds and break up any clumps, making sure everything's spread out evenly. Then I use a distributor to level the coffee bed, which helps me tamp more evenly. With a calibrated tamper, I'm applying the same pressure each time. I always use a coffee scale to measure how much espresso I get. This machine has about a 5-second pre-infusion. Right away, I notice the flow is super fast and the pressure gauge is pretty low. I end up with 40 grams of espresso in just over 10 seconds, which usually means a sour, watery shot. No point in tasting it. I definitely need to go finer, so I adjust the grind size to setting 4. Now I weigh another 18 grams of beans, and this time I remember to attach the dosing funnel. The grinder is a bit loud, but I'm not seeing a lot of static or coffee flying around, which is nice. I do the same puck prep. The portafilter is 58mm, so I have all the standard tools I need to keep the puck consistent so I can focus on other parameters. Let's start the second shot, and the flow slows down a lot more. The pressure gauge moves into the red zone. I'm not totally sure if that's the ideal reading, but it's definitely higher than the first shot. One thing about the E2 is that it doesn't have a 3-way solenoid valve, so once I stop the shot, coffee still drips for a few seconds. I like to stop it a little early to compensate. Including the 5-second pre-infusion, it takes about 36 seconds to reach 40 grams of espresso, which is within my target range. This shot looks much thicker, with a nice layer of crema on top. The beans are fresh, so there's plenty of crema. Flavor-wise, it's already a very drinkable espresso. Let's try one notch finer. Now the flow slows even more, around 1.3 to 1.5 grams per second, and I reach 40 grams in about 43 seconds. That's too long. And the taste is more bitter, with hardly any acidity. After these tests, I figure grind size 4 works best for now. This is an entry-level grinder, so there isn't a huge range for micro adjustments. If I want to fine-tune further, I'll just change my dose or tweak the brew temperature. This is how I usually dial in a new machine or a new coffee. Once I find a setting that works, it's much easier to pull consistent shots. I hope this video helps you out, and I'll do a more detailed review of this affordable espresso machine and grinder soon. Thanks for watching.